Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this NXT March 13th, 2019 review. This show had a fucking shit ton of fun matches, and Ricochet and Aleister Black has moved on to finals, as well as the Forgotten Sons. Very impressive matches by all four tag teams. Unfortunately for Tommaso Ciampa's injury, that's really going to sting quite a bit, especially for the World Championship match for the NXT TakeOver event that we all know is going to occur next week, probably, the announcement of Tommaso Ciampa relinquishing the NXT World title. The ending to this show, I hope they did this. I know this would sound weak, but they could direct this at Johnny Gargano's super kick to Tommaso Ciampa at the end of this show. Reason being, the kick was very furious. It connected very well, and it sold beautifully. Honestly, you could go about saying that Johnny Gargano fucked up Tommaso Ciampa's neck, like they did with Aleister Black's back injury. At least we know who did it. Now, at that point, they got like a couple of more weeks left. So I think they got about 3 more weeks after this week being the end of this week already. I honestly think they could go about bringing up about Johnny Gargano saying, hey, I'm going to make history. I eliminated Tommaso Ciampa, my enemy, who I'd like to beat at NXT TakeOver New York, but unfortunately, I happen to injure him. I got a thing for it. I like to injure people. So, go on about saying something like that, sell Johnny Gargano as being a ruthless motherfucker who's a face, and on top of that, mentioning that he's interested in becoming a Triple Crown champion of NXT. I think that would be a fantastic idea to throw in there. They really need to bring up this Triple Crown thing. I think it's a very important thing, and I think it would be a spectacular crowning to Johnny Gargano after everything he's been through in the last 2 years. 2 years of scratching, clawing, getting to the top of this company. He won the NXT World Tag Team titles. He won the North American Championship thanks to the Master of Puppets move by Tommaso Ciampa, putting him in the NXT North American Championship match. And now, with him losing the title to Velveteen Dream, it's time for him to move on to the world title of NXT. That, I believe, is what's next for Johnny Gargano. That is what needs to happen, and that's the right move. And of course, I believe that's going to happen. Him being crowning the new NXT champion is what needs to be. Who do I believe should face Johnny Gargano at NXT New York? That person, I'm not sure of. I really don't know. I don't know anyone on this roster right now that really could... I'm not quite sure who that would be. Maybe him, Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black, one-on-one? That could work. Johnny Gargano gets his victory and gets the Triple Crown win there. Or you go ahead and have him face Ricochet and Aleister Black in a triple threat match for the NXT World Championship. That would be definitely a fun and entertaining matchup to see. Now, granted, I understand Aleister Black and Ricochet are tag team partners and trying to go after the tag team titles in the tournament, but I think that should be given to the Forgotten Sons. Why? I say that. If you watch the match tonight that the Forgotten Sons gave the Mustache Mountain, I was impressed, really. Now, granted, they were with Tyler Bate, and I gotta say one thing before I go any further. Tyler Bate does not need to be in a tag team. Now, he's great in a tag team. Him and Trent Seven, don't get me wrong, are awesome. But Tyler Bate can make it on his own. He doesn't need to be in a tag team. He is fucking unreal. What he did in this matchup, I would love to see a one-on-one match between Tyler Bate and Ricochet. Those two guys would put on a fucking clinic. This is just what Tyler Bate did in this opener of this tag team match. He stole the fucking show. Win, lose, or draw, he stole this freaking show. He was unreal with all the maneuvers he did, the flying over the top rope. He was all over the place. He carried his team. Very much so, to the point where he almost got a victory, and unfortunately, because of the Forgotten Sons manager, their third guy to the team, he made an interference and caused them to lose the match. Now, granted, I didn't like that, but that's part of the deal of being a heel. You got to learn to accept it, move on. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to do whatever it takes to win. And he saw that his team was almost out of luck, so he brought them a little bit of a leverage and an advantage over the Mustache Mountain, and they got the victory anyway. Matchup, though, all around, everyone did great. Trent Seven is a great seller. He sells injuries very well. I love how he scratches and claws his way to his tag team partner when he is being beaten down and brutalized in his matches when he's tag teaming with Tyler Bate. I think he's fantastic. He sells it very well. He gives everyone the belief that he is really getting hurt. Now, probably he is, but not to the extent of what we see on television, what he's trying to sell us. So great action all around between those four men. I absolutely loved it. Give it 4 out of 5 stars, guaranteed. Good opener, everything else. The women's number one contenders match between Bianca Belair and Io Shirai. I actually didn't like this match. The reason why I didn't is because the stupidity behind Shayna Baszler, what they made her do tonight was absolutely, completely stupid. You have an opportunity to have a one-on-one match with one of those two women, and instead, being a dumbass, you decide to go in the middle of their match, fuck up the win for either one of them, and cause it to be a no contest. Why in the world would you do that? Now, Kairi Sane, she just kind of come in the middle of the whole mix-up here because she's partnered with Io Shirai. So that made logical sense for what they did. But what didn't make sense is for her to get involved in the number one contenders match, causing her to have to be challenged by 3 other women. Wow, what a stupid move by a champion. But if they want to do anything to help this woman look unbelievable as a women's champion, have Shayna Baszler beat all 3 of these fucking women. That's what I would do. Just flat out, beat them all. That's how I'd make her win. That's how I'd put her across the WWE audience. Adam Cole and Matt Riddle, they had a confrontation backstage to determine who's going to be the number one contender for the North American Championship against Velveteen Dream. Now, Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream, I definitely would like to see that one. Riddle, he's a little too soon. I don't think he needs to be challenging for the North American Championship right now. I think him having a match with Adam Cole, perfect idea. It's a good test run. Give him a way of working with the big boys in NXT, who's actually made it in a bigger fashion, in the sense of he's been a North American champion. He's had very big matches with a lot of different names within the NXT brand. So in all that, I honestly think this is the beginning start for Matt Riddle to work his way into North American Championship gold along the way. I think by probably like SummerSlam weekend, that's when he deserves to win the title, because then he'll actually have a few opponents under his belt that are big names. Right now, he hasn't faced anybody superior to him that is noteworthy that he could have beaten. Honestly, Adam Cole is really the first big challenge this guy's ever had. Cassius Ohno, it was just a warm-up, really. He wasn't even really a big opponent. So, all that being said, I honestly feel that Adam Cole is the right opponent to give this kid a run for his money and provide him the experience to be with someone who has had serious big-time matches, especially in NXT in itself. Not to mention World Championship matches with a lot of big names in the independent wrestling scene. Not saying that Matt Riddle did not have serious opponents when he was world champion in other independent wrestling organizations, but nothing like Ring of Honor has. Ring of Honor has one of the best opponents you can possibly think of. Adam Cole has faced Jay Briscoe, who's one of the best and still is the best Ring of Honor wrestlers on the planet in that company. He has flat out been loyal to that company from beginning to end. So has his brother. I mean, he's a tag team specialist, but he certainly can excel as an independent wrestler by himself. And Jay Briscoe, on many different occasions in 2013 and 2014, gave him a run for his money. So guarantee you, he's also faced Kevin Steen, or Kevin Owens as we all know him now in WWE. That's another opponent Adam Cole has faced before and has had success against. So there's been some big names in Ring of Honor that Adam Cole has faced and accomplished and looked good over. So this is a great opportunity for Matt Riddle to prove his worthy and give us a great matchup with a guy like Adam Cole, and I believe he will. I don't see that he is not talented enough to provide us a good enough matchup that would make us go, wow, that was a really good match. That's something I might look back and watch again. But this gimmick he's got, I think, needs to change somewhat. I like the bro thing. I like the I'm a pothead charisma type of character, very laid back. Reminds me a lot of Rob Van Dam, but he needs to get some improvement with his attire, at least with his feet. I mean, come on, cover your fucking feet up with some boots or shoes or some kind of shit. Sneakers, anything. Jesus Christ, man. You look fucking ridiculous coming out in flip-flops. What are you, a beach bum or a fucking wrestler? Give me a break. That's my major beef with Matt Riddle. Other than that, I think the guy is going to excel in this company. Maybe not on the main roster, but definitely in NXT. I don't know about main roster. I don't think he blends well with them. Not saying that he is not per se worthy enough to be a main eventer in the WWE main roster. It's just the way they are set, the way their formula is. It's just not a good mix. I don't feel he fits in their scheme of things and it would work out in any way, shape, or form. Just based on his character, I think they would change his character completely. I don't think Vince McMahon would value him playing this laid back, beach bum, pothead type gimmick on his main roster program. I don't think it would work. But that's here or there. So I definitely look forward to Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. I hope it turns out to be a really good matchup. I hope it's actually a main event on one of the NXT shows and give them the spotlight 100% as the last match of the show. The main event with the tag team, not tag team titles, the tag team matchup between Ricochet and DIY, which is Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Wow. This match really, if you really think about it, could have went on for another 10 minutes. It was pay-per-view quality at its finest. This was a spectacular matchup. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. This was a spectacular matchup. This is definitely something you could say, hey, this could be a nominee for best match of the year type of thing. I mean, we still got a long way to go this year. We're only in the month of March, and this match was great. I mean, I don't have any complaints with it. I mean, it had its moments of slowing down, but you have to slow down every once in a while in the match, or you're going to overkill yourself and injure yourself. Tommaso Ciampa. But that was before this all happened. I think he had this serious neck injury before this match went on. I think his neck was already accelerated to even being worse than it already was. That's another thing that makes no sense to me. If they knew that he had a minor neck problem, why would they put him in such a gruesome and stiff matchup like this? This match was very stiff. A lot of hard connections. I mean, Brock Lesnar would have loved being in this matchup with either one of these guys. They would have made him, and they would have given him a reason to want to really hammer the shit out of him. Especially Aleister Black. I think Aleister Black would be a great opponent for Brock Lesnar at a WrestleMania main event. I mean, Aleister Black is just, this guy is like 6 foot something. I think he's a little bit taller than Brock Lesnar. And he is just fucking brutal with his kicks. The kick he did to Tommaso Ciampa, I don't know if Tommaso Ciampa sold it or he legitimately connected severely hard. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at the lower part of Tommaso Ciampa's neck, there's like a big giant ball that looks like a bone sticking outwards out of his skin. Well, not out of his skin. It's underneath the skin, but it's poking outwards. And you gotta admit, he might have gotten injured from that kick to the face. I don't know where the injury came about, specifically getting worse than what it already was. But that kick that Aleister Black performed on Tommaso Ciampa looked pretty bad. I think that's probably where he got it from, but I'm not sure. I still haven't gotten any word yet or information on where and how he managed to get his neck worse than it already was, outside of saying, hey, Vince McMahon put him on Raw and SmackDown with Johnny Gargano, and Sheamus and Cesaro were pretty rough with him in the match, and he managed to injure his neck even more. I don't believe that. If that was the case, why would he have been in this tournament? That made no sense to me. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that might have been something to help it progress even worse. But to say it was just that match alone with what he did with Sheamus and Cesaro and the Revival, I don't agree. I think it was a combination of everything he did in the last couple of weeks. I mean, if you look at the matches he had in the two levels of this tournament, in the 2 tournament matches he was in, he was really in a lot of stiff spots here that any one of them could have gotten him severely injured with his neck. And honestly, I don't know where he could have gotten this to make it even worse. And if it did get worse during Raw and SmackDown episodes, why the fuck would you put him in these stiff matches that he had? I mean, he was great and all, but my God, if what they say is true about his neck, they really didn't do a good job protecting him and his health. Literally, that was pretty fucked up by WWE and NXT altogether. So I think it's a combination between Vince McMahon and Triple H that caused this guy to get his neck to injure even worse than it already was. But that's just my opinion. You guys tell me yours. Leave your comments and opinions down below. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And have a great night, guys.